Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today it's time for number 3 on the countdown to the Spectrum. It's Target Renegade, released in 1988 from Imagine Software Limited. Another absolute classic as far as I'm concerned. Another Bob Wakelin as well. It cost £7.95 when it was released and £14.95 on disc. Also released on Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64 and NES. Okay, interesting. Now this game earned a crash smash in issue 52, 1988 in May. That's the one we're going to look at, I believe. And Your Sinclair Mega Game and Your Sinclair issue 31 of also 1988. Music was composed by Gary Biasillo for the Spectrum 128K and Amstrad versions. Jonathan Dunn did the 48K version. This game for me, even though it's like a 1 or 2 player game, this game was 2 player for me, because this was like me and my brother on the same team fighting against all the bad guys. This is what we did. We huddled around the tiny little ZX Spectrum and we just played 2 players. It was absolutely epic. First game we ever played like that, and it was amazing. We had such a laugh playing this game. I did play it 1 player, of course, as well. There were times obviously when my brother was doing other things, or I'd finished my homework first or whatever, and I was on the computer and he was working, so there would have been times I played it by myself, but I'd say at least probably 80% of the time it was definitely a 2-player co-op game for me and my brother, and we had such a blast playing this. The only thing I'm going to not enjoy as much about playing this on the Spectrum is the fact that I'm not going to have my brother here playing it with me, and you know, that was always fun. But you know, that's a memory, isn't it? And that's a precious memory, so it's not like you always have to recreate the same memories. You can move along and create new ones. But this is a game I do believe I finished back in the day, but definitely I'm aiming to finish it again with the saves that we get on here. Should be hopefully an achievable target, if you'll pardon the pun. Okay, it's time to look at the Crash review. Crash Smash, yep, May 1988, check. And take a look at some of the lovely screenshots there. Apart from the one that's in the fold of the magazine, looks like absolute crap. Don't know what's going on there. I lined it up as best I could. I do that with all of these because these obviously they come in 2 parts, these magazines, so you have to kind of line them up yourself. So I always line them up on Canva when I'm doing my background pictures. But sometimes they look a bit weird. That one in sort of like the 3rd one down looks a little bit weird, but you get the general idea. You got the gameplay going anyway, so it's not like you need to see it on the review. So as ever, we'll read the whole thing. The tragic death of your brother Matt, murdered while investigating the underworld dealings of gangland boss Mr. Big, cannot go unavenged. Driven by a sense of burning injustice, you make your way through the seedy streets of Scumville. I mean, any place that's called Scumville, you know that's not going to be a good place. A labyrinthine nest of crime and black market dealings, to a final showdown with the notorious gangster himself. The adventure can be undertaken alone or with a companion, whose presence makes the competition doubly tough. Over 5 multi-loaded levels, the action shifts from a dangerous multi-story car park to a seedy nighttime street via a seemingly harmless city park and overpopulated shopping mall, finally climaxing in Mr. Big's headquarters in a sleazy bar. The inhabitants of Scumville have little goodwill to spare. Motorcyclists, skinheads, Beastie Boys fans and the ladies of the night, often armed and always spoiling for a fight, attempt to thwart your progress through the sinister city streets. You've spent a lot of time cultivating an athletic physique, however, which enables you to carry out various jumping, kicking, punching actions with relative ease. Knocking down a weapon carrying opponent gives you the chance to pick up club, axe or stick as it falls. An extra points bonus is awarded for making use of objects as well as fists. Each time a blow is sustained, your health, indicated by an energy meter, is diminished. Complete loss of strength results in the loss of 1 of 3 lives. Once all opponents have been subdued, in a section a door opens onto the next urban battleground. Survive through to the final confrontation in the bar, beat your way past Mr. Big's bodyguards. The gangland boss lies at your mercy. Succeed in destroying him and Matt's body can finally lie in rest at his Scumville grave. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Scumville grave. I mean, who the hell wants to live in Scumville for a start? Imagine putting that down as your address. As ever, we'll read the comments. Joysticks, cursor, Kempston, Sinclair, graphics. Every participant is full of character, having his or her own particular moves and style. The backgrounds add real atmosphere to the game, bringing the action right into your home. Sound, rough, tough title tune with assorted mean ditties at the start of each of the 5 levels. Average spot effects. Options, definable keys, 1 or 2 players, simultaneous, music on or off. General rating, Renegade was never this much fun. More content and tougher characters make Target Renegade the ultimate challenge. Presentation 83%, graphics 89%, playability 93%, addictive qualities 93%, overall 90%. Don't know why presentation was so low, to be honest, but maybe that's because there's not a lot to the menu screens and stuff. I suppose that's probably where presentation gets its marks. We don't have individual scores here, but we have individual reviews, of course. Nick says, do you ever come home from school or work and feel like bashing the dog's head in? No, quite frankly. Well, if you do, don't bother, because you can take all of your tempers out on the baddies in Target Renegade, and I think your dog will be relieved. Yeah, well, if you're the sort of person that comes in and beats a dog, we don't even want to talk to you, quite frankly. This game has got to be the best bash 'em up of all time. It's packed full of great graphics, colour and sound, with 5 levels of pure addictiveness. You can't go wrong. Each level holds different backgrounds and baddies that range from motorbikes that try to run you down to dogs that insist on having your head for supper. The multi-load spoils the excitement now and then, but once the next level is loaded, you soon get back in the swing of things. In most of the early levels, you can just kick and punch your way through, but as you progress, the baddies become more cunning and begin to duck and dive away from your efforts. Level 5 was one of the worst, with bald-headed hardmen that beat you up with a snooker cue and a boxer that could run for Mr. Universe. Target Renegade is a great follow-up to Renegade and deserves to do well. And that was from Nick. And as I said earlier, or I didn't say earlier, sorry, as I should have said earlier, that this is the follow-up to Renegade, in case you didn't know that. Well, let's read what Katie has to say. Target Renegade is slickly presented and features colourful and generally well-defined graphics. The various guises of Scumville vice from safety-pinned skinheads to brutal Beastie Boys fans. They are menacing, especially when the villains headbutt you from behind. Sound is purely functional though. I thought it said fictional then. The sound is purely functional, although the minimalist biffing and thumping noises add to the sinister atmosphere. Gameplay itself leaves very little to be desired. Control of the various jumping, kicking, punching movements is extremely smooth. The number of opponents to beat and the variety of weapons to collect add spice to what might otherwise become an overly repetitious theme. One minor drawback is the jerky flick screen scrolling. The edge of one screen turns into the centre of the next without warning and leaves you with a case of momentary disorientation. Don't let this put you off though. Target Renegade is as good as its predecessor, if not better. If you're after some exciting beat 'em up action, this is a good excuse to part with your hard-earned cash. And a slightly smaller review from Paul. Bish bash bosh. Now this is what I call a beat 'em up. Things have sure changed since Renegade, 89% issue 44. The folks in the neighbourhood have taken a change for the worse. It's no longer safe to walk the streets for fear of being bashed over the head by some axe-wielding beastie boy. It's a hell of a description. But now you're fit and ready to take on any old bald bouncer with a snooker cue. The moves that you possess are beautifully animated and very smoothly carried out, though whether they'll be able to slice the rubber dresses off the busty women on level 2 is another matter entirely. Mike Lamb, he of Combat School fame, has done Imagine proud. Forget the aspirins, Target Renegade will soon get rid of that pent up nervous tension. So there we have it. That is Target Renegade. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have played this game because it is an absolute classic. Renegade was good, very good in fact. Renegade was awesome, and also it made one of my lists earlier. I think it was one of the first or the second lists because it is an awesome game. Target Renegade was better in my opinion. I absolutely adore Target Renegade. We're not even going to mention Renegade number 3, which was absolute garbage. There you go. Well, now we've mentioned it, we can get it out of the way. But yeah, Renegade 3 wasn't very good at all, and very, very weird. I mean, just take a look at that one for yourself if you've never heard of Renegade 3 before, and you'll see the weirdness. Yeah, super weird game. Target Renegade, for me, the best of the bunch. You could argue that Renegade and Target Renegade are of the same standard. I just think there was a little bit more about Target Renegade personally. And like I said, I have the memories of playing this with my brother as well, which for me elevates it too. Let me know in the comments your memories of playing this awesome game. Let me know how far you got. There might be some of you out there that have never finished this game. Now's a good chance to do that with the multi-saves that we have and everything. So let me know. I always want to hear your comments. I love hearing them. And yeah, this is number 3. We're getting there. We're already on number 3. It's time flying through. So 19 more games to go, which basically means 19 more days until the Spectrum's out. Oh, it's going to be exciting. I will still be doing more top 5s and top 10s after the machine comes out. Probably initially when the Spectrum comes out, we'll be focusing on a few of the cosmetic things, like, you know, I'm going to do a video on how to add games and stuff like that. So first few videos afterwards will probably be more addressing that. Then I'll probably shift back to top 5s or top 10s or whatever to add, and maybe do some gameplay videos as well. If there are any games to be requested that I try and play through, I'll do that too. So that's for the future. Now we are on the countdown, and this was number 3, Target Renegade. Be back tomorrow with part 4. Thank you everybody for watching. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.